Almost 150 years since the final spike was driven home on May 10, 1869, the first Transcontinental Railroad continues its transformative impacts with the same goal of ferrying the stuff of America around the country. Instantly important as a connector of the burgeoning Western American landscape, this lauded piece of railroad has only grown in importance, having become the 1,000-mile cornerstone of the world's largest railroad, the Union Pacific Network, which now encompasses 33 times as many miles. While the entire Overland Route is now under the Union Pacific Herald, the UP was, until 1996, independent from the western end, the Central Pacific. Stretching from Council Bluffs, Iowa to Ogden, Utah, the Union Pacific's original share of the line is what we'll cover in this video series. The railroad exudes power and performance with a locomotive pedigree that includes the Big Boy steam locomotives, the Big Blow experimental turbines, and the hulking DD-40X, each the largest ever example of their kind. To go along with the biggest power on the biggest railroad is the biggest railroad yard, the massive Bailey Yard in North Platte, Nebraska. Flanked by miles of triple and quadruple trackage, capable and proven at handling 150 trains per day, the yard and trackage out either end is the single busiest overland freight corridor in the world. Their current slogan, Building America, was first used in 2002, but it has been true for all 150 years of the railroad's history. This is the Union Pacific's Overland Route, America's original superhighway. While the railroad is measured from and begins in Council Bluffs, the first stick of rail and most of the Terminus fanfare belongs to the opposite bank of the Missouri River in Omaha, Nebraska. The first spikes were driven here for the ambitious Pacific Railroad project on July 10, 1865, exactly 46 months before the final Golden Spike in Utah. The first rail was laid in Omaha instead of the other side of the Missouri for a simple reason. Council Bluffs had no other railroads, and with no bridge, there wasn't any crossing of the river either. In fact, there wouldn't be a railroad bridge over the river until 1873, and it has been upgraded numerous times to the modern truss we see today. Our first train comes in the form of westbound light power, rolling off the river bridge and beginning to climb out of the river valley. At 1,033 feet above sea level, Omaha is the lowest point on the Union Pacific portion of the Overland Route, which tops out at an elevation of 8,010 feet over distant Sherman Hill. Here in downtown Omaha, the Union Station was once a very busy place as passengers transferred to and from the Union Pacific. The contemporary arrangement sees but a pair of Amtrak trains per day out of this less-than-grand station, while UP and BNSF continue to share a combined right-of-way, each sending numerous freight trains through the heart of the city and the old terminal complex. Coasting for the river on the UP side is a load of Powder River coal, while on the BNSF side, empties heading back for Black Diamonds assault the grade. The first segment of the Overland Route is today known as the Omaha Subdivision, extending from Council Bluffs to Fremont, a distance of 39 miles. On the map, today's main line is in red, while the original is marked in blue. The original line, known as the Oxbow, was a source of scandal caused by meddling in the plans by a lesser engineer, while concerning Omaha that the railroad might attempt to move the terminus southward, bypassing the city. The scandal passed, but the Oxbow remained until E.H. Harriman ordered the lane cut off, the modern alignment, built with high fills, completed in 1908. This allows trains a shorter, easier route down to the river, with the downside for rail fans that the high-flying line, paralleled by Interstate 80, is not well suited to rail fanning. Therefore, our next location is firmly out of the Missouri River Valley, 39 miles by rail from Omaha, in the city of Fremont, Nebraska. This is where the Chicago and Northwestern Railroad built to meet up with the Union Pacific, forming one of the Union Pacific's most important interchanges. Long held separate by circumstance, the UP finally swallowed the C&W in 1995, finally giving the Union Pacific direct access to Chicago. This acquisition has continued to show its worth, with about half of all traffic taking the turn on or off the Overland Route here. With a fresh crew on board for the run to North Platte, this coal train begins to trundle onto the Union Pacific Main, leaving the C&W behind. As is the case currently, it isn't uncommon for trains to pile up here as they await their recrews and take the slower turn on or off the otherwise speedy main line. Departing immediately behind the coal empties, this ethanol train is just another type of unit train the railroad uses to shuttle energy resources throughout the country. While the C&W siphons off a plurality of the tonnage, the Overland to Omaha is still of great importance, a road now taken by this eastbound manifest. At Fremont, the Omaha Sub ends and the Columbus Sub begins, which presides for the next 106 miles to Grand Island. Between Fremont and Julesburg, Colorado, the railroad exclusively follows the Platte and later South Platte rivers as they provide a gentle, consistent gradient westward and give the line its distinctive curve. North Bend is the first of countless small, rural, agrarian communities to come, which flourish off the productive farmland and easy access to the railroad. Columbus, at 84 miles from Council Bluffs, was an original division point, but today most trains pass largely unnoticed. Hustling east without delay, this intermodal train ducks under the impressive Arch Bridge, one of many grade separation projects undertaken by the railroad. As we'll see, the UP has placed a great emphasis towards eliminating as many grade crossings as possible, particularly on this exceptionally busy and important corridor, to minimize conflicts between the railroad's numerous trains, pedestrians, and automobiles. That concludes this segment covering the Omaha and Columbus subdivisions of the Union Pacific's Overland Route, America's original superhighway. In the next segment, we'll continue our westward tour with the Kearney subdivision, taking us through Gibbon and onto the Triple Track, the busiest freight railroad in the world, bringing us all the way to North Platte. Thanks for watching this special presentation by the Thornapple River Rail Series, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel.